Hello, Internet. This is That One Stickman, and a few things have changed. One thing for certain, I got a new browser, Microsoft Movie Maker. It feels so much better. It's actually what Factorman TCE uses, and so not sponsored or anything. Just cool. If you are an aspiring YouTube person, you might want to check it out. The reason I had to redo this the first time is because I was so used to the 2-second delay at the beginning of the old ones, and it's not there anymore. So again, not sponsored, just found it cool. And today we will be, as some of you may know, I've written some stories, or am working on some stories, and so we are going to read one of them today, or at least what I have of one of them so far. And with that, let's get started. Oh, and one last thing. There's going to be a mystery surprise at the end. Oh, sorry. Wrong button. Okay, so we're here, and this is the first story, my main story. It's called Shackles, and it's a dystopian future book, and that's all the background for now, and we'll read the book, and then and then when we're done with what we have, we'll do the mystery surprise. Shackles, book 1, nameless. I'm planning for it to be part of a trilogy. Four characters, Red, Katie, and John, and there's a special guest character in each. I'm planning for there to be a special guest character in each of the books, and this one is Red's other friend, Game. Alright, let's get started. Third period is over at Riveria High School. I stagger out of Mr. Johnson's room, and I feel like Greek symbols and decimals are spinning around in my head. I was never a fan of math. Over the mind-numbing confusion, I can hear the chatter of gossiping identity family girls, feet rushing to class 2 stories up, and John snickering to his friends about how I'm going to be late for class. We both know this is just a taunt, of course. My next class is only 2 doors down. I have time to spare, and I'd rather spend it out here in the slightly crowded but otherwise fine benches of the hallway rather than the stale-smelling and book-filled pre-Shackles history classroom of Mr. Morse. I tug at my gray straight hair as I attempt to unlock my phone's thumbprint lock. I curse as I forget that I don't have a thumbprint, as if I'd somehow forgotten I hadn't had one for all 17 years of my life. I ask Game, at least that's what his nickname, the identity he's using right now is Dave Williams, to help me. He can afford an identity for most of the time, at least. Sorry, I just had to do that. I'm not so lucky. A little over 45 years ago, identity theft in the Republic States of America became such an issue that the government decided that the easiest way to stop it was to put microscopic devices in everyone's brains at birth, called a shackle, to remove your identity, which works, I guess. At first, some other countries called this inhumane and terrible, but then identity theft became too much of an issue and they adopted it. Some countries, like Japan, adopted peacefully. Others, like Russia, collapsed into many different squabbling provinces. The debate was too much for them to bear. And Shackles removes or cloaks everything that could be traced to you. Thumbprint, hair color, DNA, etc. It isn't bad for everyone, though. If you got enough cash, you can rent an identity, temporarily rewriting the shackles for a day, month, year, whatever. If you want, you can get your identity renewed on a subscription. You can even rent identities as gifts for others. Nowadays, the best birthday present you can give to a kid is an identity, at least even a little while. All this info is wasted if you don't have enough cash, though. The shackles themselves are designed to be unremovable and unhackable. However, in the past 3 years, a thief only known as the Identity Thief supposedly disabled 72 shackles, 3 of which have been removed manually. This is all speculation, of course. As people walk by, some stare at me for a moment as it kicks into their heads that I have a phone but no identity. This is all properly explained, of course, if you know my secret. Not many people do. Only Game and Katie, my other best friend. The reason I have a phone is because I stole it. But no law-abiding citizen would steal a phone. This is explained too. I am not a law-abiding citizen. I am the identity thief. Okay, now we're switching to Katie's point of view. My identity will be gone in 7 days. Business at Joanne's Identity Rentals was slow this month, ever since the fancy new identity rental place opened up down the block. Our business has been struggling to compete. At least it could be worse. I still have enough money for rent and food, but not enough having enough rent identity. After 6 straight months, long enough for me to almost take having curly blonde hair and an arched thumbprint for granted, like one of those stuck-up identity family kids. If Red was actually paying attention to me, instead of furiously texting on his indefinitely borrowed phone, he would probably give me a playful smirk and mock punch me in the arm as if he knew what I was thinking. To keep my mind off the lack of disposable income, I think of Red. I was shocked when I learned about Red's secret. I was more shocked that he would tell me. I try to focus on the details, but I can't seem to do it. Details floating like a dream you try to remember at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It takes me a moment to realize that it's been years since I've thought of this memory, almost as if I'd tried to push it out of my head. I don't have time to think about it now. Class is starting in 5 minutes. At last, Red puts down his phone and runs to class. Once seated, as if on cue, my phone gets a ring. I unlock my phone, gratefully. I still have my thumbprint inside. It will be gone in a week. I realized that Red was texting me, and after reading the text, I realized he was texting game, too. Meet me at my house at 10. I hear the identity thief might strike tonight. Wouldn't want to be caught in their blast radius. He's attempting to break in tonight. He'll need assistance. And I'm ready. I also hope game is ready. I just hope the police aren't. And now we're on to John, who is an identity family kid. Oh, and if you haven't noticed, that's slang for super rich kid. Fourth period has started. I arrive fashionably late, like always, dusting off my white tuxedo after I take a glance at them, as if I could catch their lack of identity or worse, lack of money. I don't bother taking a seat, even though my associates, Will, a tall kid with curly long hair, and James, a short and fat kid with a bright red afro, do. I don't even care if I fail the grade. If I do, Dad can just hire a private tutor, preferably Mrs. Dowling. Her cute clothes, silky smooth brown hair that always bobbed up and down as she walked, gleaming teeth that could probably blind you if she smiled too wide, and luxurious and roomy office that often smelled like soap. I can fondly remember all of this as if I was there yesterday. Oh, and she taught well, too. And that's the most important thing, along with the soap. I chuckled to myself as I think this thought. I know when I'm kidding myself. What I can't remember clearly at all is if I ever didn't have an identity. As far back as I can remember, I've had short brown hair and a curvy thumbprint. I don't particularly want to think about it. In my daydreaming state, I don't notice when a kid without an identity barrels past me. I am knocked over and tumble into a giant stack of hardcover encyclopedias. The entire class burst into laughter as if my unsightly demise was funny. Battered, I just barely managed to stand up. I am furious at this kid for being so reckless and ramming into me. But despite all my anger, I stagger up to the kid, my hair a mess, and my tuxedo frayed and ripped in a few places. I stagger gracefully, of course, nearly falling down once more. I take my seat, conveniently located next to this kid. Money will get you everywhere, from buying a pack of paper clips to renting an identity. It will also buy you revenge. I talk to this kid and ask him my name as I walk up to him. Sorry, it's been a while since I've edited this. My name, he says, somehow sounding sweaty, like the rest of him. He stammers a bit, then says, 75002740, of course, his identification number. He was the 75,002,740th person born in the Republic States of America after the Shackles were implemented. Red is still snickering. As much as I would love to crush him, I have no real motive, much less the capability. Red's too good. No, 75002740 will have an unfortunate accident tonight. And now we go to the pea green game who likes games a lot. I hate Shackles' history class. What is not it's not that I'm bad at it, I'm extremely good. What I hate about it is the title. It should be called Government Cover-Ups 101. Oh, and he's from Canada. After the opening fiasco with John, we finally start back into our normal routine of half paying attention to the teacher, in this case Mr. Morris, and half commentating and snickering behind his back. I get nervous and start thinking about Red's text. Meet me at my house at 10. I hear the identity thief might strike tonight. Wouldn't want to be caught in their blast radius. Why, out of all the days to perform his death-defying mantra of running, hacking, and slashing his way up the 26th up to the 26th floor of the city's government office is 20 blocks away. There's no special events that would draw away guards. It's completely illogical. It was probably just a mistake. I'll come anyway, though. Red's a nice guy. I stop worrying about it and get focused back on class when I hear Mr. Morris ask, "Does anyone know how the shackles were implemented?" I always get mad at Mr. Morris when he... Sorry, I'm really bad at typing. But hey, now you get to see an editor in working. When Mr. Morris talks about the shackles, he's an identity family person. Why should he be concerned about the shackles? For all he's concerned, they might as well not exist. I calm down by fidgeting with the ID in my pocket. It always makes me calmer to know that I collect IDs. To know I share this illegal hobby with thousands of others make me feel calmer. I like feeling like a rebel. That's why I like Red. I notice that Mr. Morris has already called on John. I only half pay attention to his response, but his words fill me with white-hot anger. The government used non-lethal drones that scan the person if they had the shackle installed in them. If not, then they would painlessly inject a person with it. It went very smoothly. I can't control myself anymore. I shoot up in my seat and glare at John as hard as I can. What about the riots and the police beatings? What about the fatal Shackles injections? Is that what you call painless and peaceful, John? Huh? Oh, wait a sec. Pause. Sorry. Someone called me. Mr. Morris is usually calm and composed, but his face turns bright fuchsia, which really isn't his color, and sends me straight to the principal's office for telling outright lies. He wants this bad enough that he has John escort me there. What he's really sending me to the office for is because I know the truth. I feel proud of myself for knowing the truth. It makes me feel like a rebel. Intermission, guys. Better. Coming here from the Democratic Alliance of Canada was a weird step, and I wanted to fit in. Just not the way the RSA wanted me to. Even without Red's help, I partially hacked into my shackles. Sometimes memories of my former life appear, and I should cherish them. I don't need to cherish them anymore. My book about the RSA and the shackles is almost complete. In 1 week, I'll be across the border, and then I can stay there. We finally make it to the principal's office, and John pushes me in. I take a seat behind the principal's desk. Mr. Seiler's deep voice makes even his gentlest voice sound intimidating. He turns his head to me, then to John, and says, "What has Dave done this time?" Of course, he addresses me by my rental identity. I flinch a little, but John doesn't seem fazed. He coolly replies, "Dave was saying outright lies about riots and police beatings during the first wave of shackles." Thank you. It takes all my willpower not to burst into laughter. After a quick nod and a long moment of silence, Mr. Seiler dismisses John. Then he gets up and locks the door. He waddles back to his seat. Raising an eyebrow, he queries, You collect IDs, correct?" "Yes." So do I. It's fun, isn't it?" "You bet. I have a Japanese ID, dated 1 year before they adopted the shackles. If he's trying to get me to open up, it's working. I have the ID of Andreas Jansen, the last president of the old United States of America. By the way, if you'd like to swap IDs tomorrow, I think I could arrange that. Now quickly, you don't want to be late for 5th period." My arms are shaking. After a quick thank you, I run off to the 5th floor. As much as I would like to believe he's honest, I can't trust these rich folks. I'll only bring my unimportant IDs. I won't have much time to assemble a portfolio anyways. I'll be too busy helping Red. Okay. Next Red chapter. Chapter 5. Night has fallen. Game and Katie are both at my decaying old house. I only have 7 hours before 74978 is executed. I need to think fast. 74978 There's a lot of repeat numbers, and so it's really confusing. It's helped me out on countless missions, but last night she was caught. She's currently locked in a jail cell, but if I can just hack into the system and give her an identity, even a fake one, they might be convinced into thinking they grabbed the wrong person, and let her go. It's a long shot, but there's still a chance. Urgently, I beckon Game and Katie to my desk, and I show them the plan I've drawn up. Game walks over casually, but Katie stands there, first hesitant, then pointing a finger objectively. She seems more inquisitive with this identity. The government claims that the identities don't mess with your personality, but I'm not completely buying into that. In a tone probably too harsh, I growl, "What's wrong?" She semi-casually replies back, "What the heck are we here for?" After a long pause, I reply, "For a friend." I regain a little confidence in her when she nods and says, "Fair enough." I sit down and tell Game and Katie the plan. This time it's Game who tells me I'm insane. "So you expect me to believe that bulging up 20 stories while destroying everything in your path to save one little person is a good idea? You're crazy. What if they worse? What if they kill you? Or worse, find out who you are? Or even worse, find out who you are and then torture you to death?" A long moment of silence is punctured only by a large breath of air from Game. I reply back, "I'm changing my image. The government won't be afraid of me if I don't break some of their stuff along the way. Do you remember that there were other rebels of the system before me?" "Yeah, they all got killed though." "Exactly, but if you hack into their databases, you see they all have something in common. They didn't kill. As much as I hate to admit it, it's kill or be killed out here. If we want to make any sort of impact on the system, we'll have to be on the kill side of things. Also, I'm saving one person at the very least. Lastly, I'm not smashing up those 20 stories without you and Katie's help." As I start to suit up, Game replies, Does that make us any more reconcilable than the guards in that tower?" I mumble as my Kevlar vest goes over my head. No, it doesn't. We have a Katie chapter, and then we have like a fourth of a John chapter left. I can't believe I'm going through with this. It's crazy. He'll be killed, we'll be killed, and yet for some strange reason, I log into my laptop and begin hacking the first National Identity Services shift schedule. Still, I reason that the ideal time for him to enter would be at 11:30. This side of the building, furthest away from the alleyway, where they wouldn't suspect anyone entering. Still, I feel with Red's gun that he will kill so many people tonight with. Sometimes I wonder why I still help him. After all these years, he's cut himself off from the rest of humanity. Whenever I try to pull him back, it seems like there's an invisible barrier, 40 miles wide and thick as steel, the same steel his heart is forged in. Sometimes I wonder if he's trying to dip our hearts in the same steel, or cutting himself off for our sake. I close the tab I'm in and pace back and forth to calm my nerves. Soon my gaze settles on Red's busted window, where I can see some children playing some game when a police officer chases them both away. It is after dark, when all the shady business deals and backstabbing goes on. They're getting bribed or paid too much to let some kids ruin everything. I see a kid from my school. It's too dark to tell. Get past a note from a shady person. He glances at it for a few seconds. Then he crumples it up and walks away. Typical things you see in Bavaria. Finally, my eyes dart to the FNIS's ominous tower. Customers coming in and out of the first 5 levels pristine glass, but what really grabs my attention is the 19 stories above, hard concrete, concealing the corrupt politics that go on in there, spattered with blood stains, a morbid feel penetrating every last room of the final 7 floors. I know, because I used to work there. It was how Red and I met. I was working as an intern for the FNIS. I think it was his 34th mission. He comes out on the 18th floor, at least a dozen guards on his tail, the commander ordering me to stop him. I was pretty weak at the time, so I frantically looked around for something to hit him with, when my eyes caught something odd on the TV monitor to look at on the outside without anybody looking in. An old man and a police officer. The man probably had rented an identity longer than he could afford. After some muted shouting on both their parts, the man backed away. The officer ran up to him, hit him several times, then shot him in the head. I still can't believe I thought the government wasn't evil until then. I grabbed a chair, even though Red was well on the 19th floor by now. Ran up and hit the commander right on the head. Panting and helpless, Red could have easily left me there to be caught by the guards. Instead, he grabbed me by the arm and we ran up 5 stories together, up to the roof, and we fell down together, right into a lake in the middle of the road, a part of the aftermath of Hurricane Jeb. We laughed a frightened laugh, got up and ran to his house before the guards could catch us. Dripping, he walked up to me, took off his hood, and revealed his identity. It was a bold step for him and a whole new world for me. It was his first mission where he did not complete his objective, but not his first unsuccessful one. I wonder if he even remembers that anymore. I wonder if on this mission, there will be someone like me, and Red won't save them. Soon, Red comes into the living room, decked out in stolen Kevlar and spy gear. An uncommon resoluteness fills his eyes as he politely, yet firmly, asks for his gun. After a brief hesitation, I outstretch the arm with his gun, and he snags it quickly. I tell him the plan, and a few moments later, he nods and runs out the door. After the door slams shut, I exhale and drop the bullets in my other hand. John. It's my father's birthday, so he decides to have a night on the town. He decides to go to the Rich Savoy, the fanciest pub in the state. I groan under my breath. We've been to the Rich Savoy 1,000 times. The story's always the same. We order halfway through the meal. Dad says he'll be gone for 5 minutes to use the restroom. Staggers back in 30, drunk, with a bloody lip from a bar fight. Yet tonight feels different. Something feels special. Maybe the pattern will be broken. Maybe I'm just kidding myself. Nevertheless, there's tension in the air. We drive over to the pub. Before we can see the building, I vividly remember the exterior. It's tall, round glass building like the Phoenix offices. And that's all for now, and oh my gosh, 20 minutes. Sorry that was such a long video, but remember to comment down below if you liked it. And with that, we are about to reveal the mystery prize for all you subscribers. So the mystery surprise is a callback to older subscribers back when we had Saturday videos, and I might be bringing back those over the summer. And the polls on the Saturday videos. Well, I may not be bringing back the Saturday videos, but I am bringing back the polls, at least for today. And so, instead of the normal 2 options, click the eye icon right there, you have 4 options. I'm sorry, I'm so bad at pointing those things out. Anyway, there are 4 options. 1, we can read book number 2 of, not book number 2, but the second thing I'm writing on. It's about Minecraft, so college in Minecraft. So if you want to go look at that, then that'll be good. That's 1 option. 2 option, another option, we can try and do something on my iPad. It can't be longer than like 3 minutes, so there's that. And we can try and do something on my Switch, or click on something else entirely, and comment down below if you have any suggestions. Remember to choose your option, leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all next week.